Imply, deduce, and infer. All of these words belong to communication of information and we often use them interchangeably. However, there is difference between these words and in this video we will learn the difference between these words. Imply and deduce belong to same category and we may simplify it as imply, deduce versus infer because carefully looking at these words, we can say that infer is starkly different from imply and deduce. So, to simplify it, we can make two categories one category of imply, deduce, and the other category is infer. So, it is simplified as imply, deduce versus infer. So, it makes two categories. So, first we will learn difference between imply and infer, and after that we will also learn difference between imply and deduce. First, let's see meaning of imply. Imply means to convey a message which can be a feeling, opinion, suggestion, or an idea to the other party without expressing it outrightly or directly. And infer means to make an opinion, assume something as true, or arriving at a decision on the basis of the information, facts, premises, and evidence that is available to you. So, imply and infer usually imply communication of information. But here is the difference between these two words. Imply refers to giving information while infer refers to receiving information. In other words, the speaker or someone who is giving information may employ something and a listener may infer something. So, the one who infers is at receiving end and one who employs is at giving end. So the one who gives information employs something and one who receives information infers something. Imply means to strongly suggest the truth or existence of something that is not expressly stated. So it means when you imply something, something is not said or given directly, but you imply it through indirect means, through reasoning, through the application of logics. For example, Funland, as the name might imply, is a site simply about having fun. So it is implied from the name of this park, Funland, which suggests that there must be something to have fun in that park. So, imply does not always mean to have information through words, but something can also be implied through activities, through visualization. For example, he took a bite out of his sandwich in such a way as to imply the subject was closed. So, here we imply information through some activity. Similarly, things can also imply, like a chimney must imply that a fireplace is there beneath it. You may have also heard the words explicit and explicit. Implicit simply means when something is implied, it is derived or deduced indirectly, and when something is explicit, it is expressed directly. On the other hand, infer means to deduce and conclude information from evidence and reasoning rather than from explicit statement of that information. The listener or someone who is receiving information may infer something. For example, from the tone of your voice, I can infer that you are angry. What are you implying by your remark? What should I infer from your remark? So, to imply something is to give information about something, to infer something is to receive information, but both are usually through indications, hints, guesses. For example, here, wife says to his husband, "You keep checking your phone," and husband may have two replies. First, "What are you implying?" And second, "What should I infer from that?" See one more scientific and technical example of use of infer, where we gather information through indirect means. For example, how we measure temperature through thermometer. We actually don't measure temperature. We measure the length of its column because we know here heat makes things expand, and at lower temperatures the length of mercury inside thermometer must be short, but at higher temperature or when we heat it, it must expand and the length of its column must be greater. So we measure length and we infer temperature from this length. Remember, one who gives information implies, but one who receives information infers. So imply and infer are opposites like a throw and a catch. One more slight difference can be that imply involves some guess and less accurate, or it means to hint at something, while infer involves more educated and calculated guess. Hopefully, it may have cleared the difference between imply and infer. Now we'll see difference between infer and deduce. Both of these fall in the same categories because deduce is also to receive information through indirect means, and there is a slight difference between these two words. To infer is to make an educated guess or more calculated one, while to deduce is to conclude after a more prolonged analysis of relevant factors. A deduction or deduce involves logical reasoning, or it may involve your personal opinions in that, but to infer involves more scientific and mathematical procedure, which is assumed to be more accurate. Deduce means to apply logic to a set of known facts and come to a solid conclusion based on these facts. If the facts are true, then conclusion must also be true because of the logic. On the other hand, infer gives some more solid reasons to believe the conclusion. For example, when A and B bears some relationship, and some event happens to these, and we have some information about A, we may infer same about B. Or when A is equal to C and B is equal to C, we can infer that A is also equal to C. Anyhow, inferred information is not also supposed to be 100% accurate, and we cannot omit other possibilities. For example, when somebody sees clean teeth of another friend, he may infer that he has brushed his teeth. But there can be some other possibilities, like he may have gone to doctor to clean his teeth, but the possibilities of other options are minimum. Deduce is application of logic. On the other hand, infer is application of mathematical and scientific reasoning, and infer is more accurate and more calculated one. Inferring due to our knowledge of a particular situation, which means that we have good reason to believe to it. That's all about these words. Hopefully, it may have cleared your understanding about these words. One more word of this category is derived, but it is hardly used in casual writings or casual communications or conversations. It is usually used in mathematics or scientific studies. Thank you very much.